did Cain's wife come from? My name is Pete Enns. I'm a biblical scholar, college professor, and also the co-host of the Bible for Normal People podcast. Let's get into this question: where did Cain's wife come from? And that's caused a lot of hand-wringing over the centuries for many people, because it just doesn't make sense. If Adam and Eve are the first people created, so it seems, and they have children, Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel, that leaves 3. And so if Cain is driven out of the land, where does his wife come from? So one solution that's been proposed, which is not at all convincing, is that, well, he married one of his sisters as a wife. And there are 2 problems with that. First of all, Adam and Eve do have other children, according to chapter 5. That's the chapter after the Cain and Abel story. But these are children, I think, very clearly in context, born after all this business happened. Also, I think more importantly, after it is pronounced upon Cain by God that he would become a fugitive and a wanderer, the first thing out of Cain's mouth is, listen, if people find me, they're going to want to kill me. And so God says, no, that's not going to happen. He puts a mark on Cain so people know to, like, hands off, don't retaliate against him for what he did. But the problem is, who are these other people? Right? This is even before the whole Cain is marrying somebody from the land of Nod. There are clearly other people that Cain has to be concerned about. And that indicates that there's something going on in this narrative. And I think a clear indication of this story, both the posse that's coming after Cain and also the fact that there are people in another place called Nod where Cain can marry somebody and blah, blah, blah. All that indicates that there are clearly other people in existence at this time. It's not just Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel and Seth and whatever. So where did they come from? And here, I think a solution, if we just think out of the box a little bit, presents itself very, very clearly, and I think somewhat convincingly. The other people are those created in Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1 is a story of the creation of everything, and humanity en masse is created at the end of the 6th day. Male and female, God creates them, and they're fruitful and they multiply. There are all these sorts of people. The second story of creation, Genesis chapter 2, comes along and tells a different story entirely. It's not talking about the creation of all humanity, but it is talking about something else. Where did Cain get his wife from? There's no explanation that, for my taste, is remotely convincing, other than, well, the presumption is there are other people already there, which means that Adam and Eve were not the only people, and Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel were not the only people. There are other people in existence.